down, you've got your grass deflector, which is responsible for ejecting the grass from the rotation of the cylinder into your catcher, and the back here running through your twin rail or your solid deck are your clamp screws, which hold the deflector in place. The deflector is also clipped on to the top of the sole plate down inside the machine, which you can't see very well from when it's mounted. And a little bit further down again, you've got all the innards of the actual cutter and the front roller, height adjuster and that sort of thing. So obviously this is your reel. They'll come in 6-blade, 8-blade, 10-blade, 12-blade configurations, especially if you're buying a new one. And at the front, you've got your front roller. This one's metal, aluminium I guess it is. There's a cradle that it hangs off of, and there's an axle that runs through it with a little bolt around the other side. These are the pins that the catcher hangs off of. This machine's missing one over here, but that's where your front, one of your front bumpers goes for your catcher to sit on. There's the other bumper that you can see. It's just a little bit of rubber on that little stud. So behind the reel, there's the bottom blade. It's a single piece of steel. It's bolted onto the sole plate at the back of the machine. And the mower cuts by virtue of a scissor action between the reel itself, spinning obviously, and the fixed bottom blade. Grass comes around and out the front. This adjuster screw here and here are responsible for setting the position of the reel in relationship to the bottom blade so that you get a nice cutting action and it doesn't tear your grass, or so that it actually cuts as well. Sometimes if it's not set properly you might get it cutting well on one side but not the other, or it might not cut at all, or it's cutting too close to the knife itself. So back here on either side of your reel there are 2 bearing housings and 2 bearing housing covers. Inside, you guessed it, there are bearings that support the shaft of the cutter. That shaft is sticks out through the frame side and connects onto a cog on the other side that I'll show you later. In the old days those were open unsealed bearings, and there's a little foam washer, little foam pad I guess, that sat on the non-cog side that would basically hold onto the oil that you'd pump in there, so it's worth maybe putting a little drop of oil in there every once in a while if you've got one of those machines. This is your height adjuster knob, which controls the height of your front roller through a little L bracket around the side here. And adjusting this knob up or down will determine how high or short you're cutting your grass. It's not related to the height adjustment of the reel itself. So basically you won't normally be touching these unless you're really trying to dial in a close cut. Some people do it every day. The height adjustment knob you might fiddle with from time to time if you're trying to drop the level of your grass down or raise it up. Before we open the chain case, I just wanted to show you this height adjuster over here. There's the knob itself, a little spring that sits below this little L plate that sticks out here that's welded onto the side of the machine. A little clip that holds everything in place, and then the arm of the adjuster itself, which slips around through a little hole here and into the front roller mechanism to tilt it up or drop it down.